once my body sees. Oh, I miss that Georgia sunshine. Oh, I wish that I was there. Yeah, to wake up every morning to the smell of them Georgia pine. Peach blossoms blooming everywhere. My restless young heart took me wandering far from that old hometown of mine. Ooh, how I long every minute that I've been gone to get myself back home to that Georgia sunshine. I wandered round from town to town. Ain't many places I ain't gone. But the road I see keeps calling me is the road that takes this Georgia boy back home. Oh, how I miss that Georgia sunshine. Oh, how I wish that I was there. Yeah, to wake up every morning to the smell of them Georgia pine. Peach blossoms blooming everywhere. My restless young heart took me wandering far from that old hometown of mine. Oh, how I long every minute that I've been gone to get myself back home to that Georgia sunshine. Oh, yeah.
Hey, I feel beautiful. I feel beautiful. Only thing coming in tonight, I got caught in a traffic jam. I was really crawling along. It got so bad, I finally got up and walked. Those freeways are really something. Do you ever see those guys who ride motorcycles with a girl in the back holding them? They get so close, every 10 miles, they have to go through a car wash to cool off. Anyway, it's good to be here. It's amazing how many people recognize you, when you're doing it. Recognize you. It's amazing how many people recognize you when you do a weekly television show. Like yesterday, a little old lady stopped me and said, "Mr. Martin, I watch your show, and you every Saturday night." I said, "That's very nice, but my show's on every Thursday night." She says, "I know, but my set takes a long time to warm up." I think we're going to have some fun tonight. I got some great guests. Bobbi Martin's here, Bob Newhart, and Dennis Weaver. My first guest will never have to worry about automation, and he'll never be out of work as long as he lives. That's because nobody will ever invent a machine that thinks as funny as Bob Newhart.
Thank you, Dean. Tonight, Dean and I would like to salute a group of men who are largely unsung, who daily risk their lives that others might live. I'm, of course, talking about America's driving instructors. Now, I will play the driving instructor, and I'm waiting in the car for my student, Mrs. Webb. I've had some ugly students. Now, according to our file here, your name is Mrs. Webb, is that correct?
That's correct.
And, according to this, you've had one lesson already. Do you happen to remember the instructor's name on that?
Mr. Adams.
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 I'm sorry. Here, let me just read ahead a bit. I might
Go ahead.
familiarize myself with your... How fast were you going when Mr. Adams jumped from the car?
75.
75. Where was that now?
It's in my driveway. We were backing out.
Did Mr. Adams cover starting the car? He got that far, did he? Mm-hmm. All right. You want to start the car and we'll pull out into the stream of traffic? Mrs. Webb, you just turn on the windshield wipers. You want to start the car? The heck with it. Leave the heater on. That's all right. That's all right. Go ahead. You only have one left. Mm-hmm. There we. All right. Let's pull out into the stream of traffic. What's the first thing we're going to do before we pull out into traffic? What did Mr. Adams do before he let you pull out into traffic?
You mean besides blessing himself?
That's what I had in mind was checking the rear view mirror. You see, we always want to check the rear view. Don't pull out! Please don't cry, Mrs. Webb. I didn't mean to shout at you like that. Just that there was a cement truck. You see. All right, your lane is clear now. You want to pull out? Very good. All right, now let's get up just a bit more speed and ease it into second. Ha-ha. That's all right, Mrs. Webb. I just hadn't intended to cover reverse this early.
It's just that the other car's honking made me so nervous.
Makes you nervous, huh? Try not to pay too much attention to their honking. You're doing very well. You really are.
I keep having a funny feeling I'm blocking somebody's lane.
No, as a matter of fact, as long as you're here on the safety island, you couldn't... couldn't be blocking anyone's lane. All right, let's practice some turns now. The important thing is you want to remember on turns, try not to make them too sharp. Just kind of make it... that was very good. Just a little fast. One other thing. See, this is a one-way street, Mrs. Webb. Actually, that may have been even partially my fault, you see, but you were in the left-hand lane, and you were signaling left, and I don't know, I just automatically assumed you were going to turn left. Same to you, fella.
What did he say?
I couldn't make out what he said, Mrs. Webb. Mrs. Webb, you want to get out of the stream of traffic coming at us? Pull in the alley there, anywhere. This is something not too many of the schools stress too much. We happen to think it's kind of important. It's called alley driving. We might drive around the alleys for the rest of the hour. I'll tell you what, there's a practice area not too far away from here. It might not be a bad idea if we went over there. Turn right here. That's the way. It will build up your confidence. Yeah, turn right here. Well, now that was my fault again, you see. Yeah, I'm in at the corner. Not onto this man's lawn, you see. Sorry, sir. You want to back out, Mrs. Webb? Sorry, sir. Sorry. He's going for the hose. Back out, Mrs. Webb. Mrs. Webb, we just backed into someone. Do you recall at all my earlier talking about the rear view mirror?
Well, the red light blinded me.
The red light.
The flashing red lights on the car I just hit.
She was just telling me about it, officer, as a matter of fact. No, actually, you're right. I suppose I should have had her signal. See, I don't know what the signal is Mrs. Webb, I'm going to have to go with the officers to the police station.
Before you go, I want to be sure to get your name.
Well, my name is Frank Dexter. Why do you ask?
I want to be sure and ask for you the next time.
The Dean Martin Show, starring Bobbi Martin, Bob Newhart, Dennis Weaver.
Before I go, remember the famous words of Walter Pidgeon, who once said, "I'm sorry I ruined your statue." Come in.
Miss Kenny, my baby. Oh,
Mama.
Kenny.
Mama. Oh, hi, Mrs. Lane.
Who are you? Oh, yes, I forgot. You're Marvin, that Italian boy who sings on my baby show. You're a bad boy, Kenny. You're supposed to be at home tonight. Did you forget? This is the night I always Q-tip your ears.
Mrs. Lane, we haven't finished the show. Can't you do that later?
You're right, Marvin. If you're going to sing, maybe it's better I leave his ears stopped up. Kenny, I'll bet you didn't even eat your supper. Let's go home. I'll mash a banana for you, huh?
And if you're a good boy, Ken, maybe Tiny Tim will come and tiptoe through your tapioca.
Don't be sarcastic, Marvin, huh? Ever since Kenny became the star of his own television show, he's had such a nervous stomach.
I know, this is the only show on television where we have to stop every 20 minutes and burp the piano player.
Marvin, you're only a visitor in this country. Remember, if my Kenny hadn't agreed to work with you, you might still be sitting on Ellis Island. No, my Kenny's got to come home now. It's all in his horoscope. You see, Kenny's a Virgo.
You want to run that by me one more time?
I said Kenny's a Virgo, and he's having trouble with his cusp.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going around lately.
Oh, I think I may speak without fear of contradiction when I say it's dangerous to have Jupiter in configuration with its own naval place while Neptune is in the 5th house.
Yeah, I think I got to go along with that.
It could be very dangerous for my baby. He might have an accident and hurt his fingers.
Hey, we wouldn't want that to happen. If Kenny hurt his fingers, what would he use to play with his toes?
Remember, Mussolini made fun of his piano player, too. You should be half the man my Kenny is. According to his horoscope, he's strong, he's forceful, he's determined, he's a mature leader, and a man amongst men.
Mama, please.
And not
Please,
now,
Mama.
baby. Mama's rolling. A giant.
Mrs. Lane, Ken will come home right after the show. Don't worry about him. He's a mature, grown-up, responsible adult. He doesn't want to be treated like a baby. Do you, Ken?
Can I have a drink of water?
I'll give you a second.
Well, I'll take him home later, Mrs. Lane.
All right, but now remember, I have to go now. And when you get home, don't touch your father. You never know where he's been.
Well, I don't know what's going on. This show is turning into a telethon for a diaper rash. You know that? Anybody in the closet?
Sure, take it.
Okay. Oh.
Hello, Ken, honey. How are you, honey? Say, Dean, I wanted to tell you that over on my farm, the strangest thing has happened.
What?
Yeah. Well, I got a pig that lays eggs.
Pig that lays eggs. Can I see one?
Well, you see, I don't have any. Every time she sets on them, they break. I wish I could have heard that one.
If I can, ladies and gentlemen. I used to wear suspenders, but now I prefer a good belt.
According to Sigmund Freud, man has two basic appetites. One of them is food, and the other one isn't. Now, the appetite for food is socially acceptable. You can eat as much as you want, wherever you want, any hour of the day or night. But the other appetite is a no-no. Now, when it comes to satisfying that appetite, man's natural instincts are restricted by all kinds of rules and laws and customs and house detectives. Now, I wonder what it would be like if it were the other way around. If the appetite for food were the no-no, you might see a scene like this in any big hotel. Fella, I'm in town with a convention, and I'm looking for a good time, you know what I mean? Where can I get a hot meal?
Hot meal?
Yeah, you know, something really stacked, you know? Like a club sandwich.
I wish I could help you, sir, but the cops are cracking down all over town. They raided Howard Johnson's. They made Colonel Sanders put blouses on the chicken breasts. And last night they confiscated Sarah Lee's cupcakes. Believe me, there's nothing cooking around here anymore.
In that case, could you get me a broad? Now, you see what I mean? You can imagine what scandalous goings on there might be in, say, the balcony of your local movie theater. Potato salad, pork chops, avocado tuna fish, sour pickle cherry cheesecake.
Well, who was that?
An obscene phone call.
The Kinsey report would give statistics on snaps. And here's what honeymoons would be like.
Oh, darling, married at last.
Yeah, and how I waited for this moment.
Darling, what's the matter?
I've got indigestion.
Well, are you sure? Maybe it's only a baby.
I've just been to the doctor.
But I don't understand. Haven't you been taking the pill?
No, we ran out of Alka-Seltzer.
Hey, Mac. Would you like me to get you a real swinging chick?
A swinging chick, sure.
Here you are.
Give me another double.
Trying to drown your sorrows?
Yeah, I found out that my wife has been unfaithful to me.
You mean she's been eating with other men?
Constantly.
How do you know?
She burps in her sleep.
You poor devil.
Now, don't worry, I fixed her good. She'll never be able to eat with another man.
Good grief, what did you do to her? Daddy,
Yes, son?
where does food come from?
Well, I guess you're old enough to know. Well, you're up here already, aren't you, son? No sense getting up a second time, is there? You see, the farmer grows the food in the ground, and then he sells it to the packager, and the packager distributes it to the supermarket. And then your mommy goes to the supermarket and picks out the food she wants. And And then...
Yes, Daddy?
Then the stork brings it.
Ready, Carol?
Ready, Ted?
Ready, Alice.
Well, let's go.
Shall we hunt deer?
All right, darling.
Maybe you'd rather hunt bear.
Not until I know you better.
Well, you see, the first thing we do, Dean, is look for signs that there's wild game in the area. Now, we know that deer nibble on leaves, so what do?
We look for a bush with a hickey.
That's right. Now, next we have to stalk our prey. Have you done any stalking?
No, but I rinsed out my pantyhose.
Well, once we know that there's deer in the area, we try to attract it with a mating call. Ooh! Ooh!
Is that a mating call?
No, the laundry just forgot to take a safety pin out of my shorts. Let's hear your mating call, Dean.
Hey, baby, you want to get into show business?
Oh, yeah. I think I hear some deer now. Oh, yes. Ooh. You know, naturally now, Dean, for demonstration purposes, we'll use fake deer.
Well, they don't look fake to me.
Now, these are $2.
Sold.
You know, as you can see, they are 12 pointers.
You adding or are you multiplying? What are you doing?
You know, a deer like this used to keep Davy Crockett going for a whole winter.
I'll settle for a weekend.
What fine trophies these would make. Wouldn't you like to have this one stuffed?
I think somebody beat me to it.
Okay, Dean, now it's time to bring them down. Let's go behind the bushes and get them in our sights.
Okay.
Now, Dean, with any luck at all, we'll only need 2 shots.
Don't worry, I got the bottle in the car.
You go first, Dean, but be careful. If you frighten her, she'll attack you.
Boo!
Quiet! You don't want her to charge, do you?
No, I forgot my credit card.
Okay, ready, aim, let her have it. Hey, Dean, where are you going with that deer?
To a stag party.
I'll be right with you.
Well, I see by the old clock on the wall that we need a new clock on the wall. I certainly enjoyed having our guests with us tonight, and I'm glad you were able to join us. You're all invited back next week. Don't bring anybody or anything, just yourselves, because you're good company. Good night, everybody.